What is going on, beautiful people? Welcome to another episode of A Narcissist Explains. I am self-aware, diagnosed narcissist Lee Hammock, and in today's episode, we're going to be talking about marriage counseling, couples counseling with a narcissist. Is it worth it? What's going on? Should you try it? Last ditch effort, all the other good stuff. Stay tuned, like and subscribe for more. Thank you. So, I'm a diagnosed narcissist, and I've been in marriage counseling with my wife, and I would agree that therapy is pointless with a narcissist that's not actually trying to work on themselves. Because when we first went to marriage counseling, the marriage counselor asked both of us, like, were either of us in therapy for anything else? And I said, hey, look, I've been diagnosed with narcissistic personality disorder. The therapist like, oh, okay. Thank you for saying that. And then she went on and started talking to my wife. Not all therapists are qualified to deal with toxic, manipulative people. If I had bad intentions in my marriage counseling sessions, I could have easily manipulated that therapist to be on my side and get her to agree with whatever I wanted her to agree with. I'm trying to get my wife to listen to me, but it's pointless communicating with her. She shuts down when I try to talk to her. It would have been super easy, but that's not the point. That's not why I was there, because I've been in psychotherapy for 6 years myself. Going to counseling and being open with a therapist about how the narcissist is treating you can actually be dangerous for you as well, because the shame that you bring upon them by telling what they have actually done is great. Be safe. So, welcome back. First of all, y'all gotta shout out the shirt, the Lee jeans shirt, Lee. It's a gag shirt, y'all. I just had to get it. Narcissist got his name on the shirt. Narcissistic robot checking in, name on shirt. Blah blah blah. I get it. So, if you can read, the text on the screen, it says, "I've heard therapy with a narc is pointless." How do y'all feel about that? What are your thoughts on that right there? Is therapy with a narcissist pointless? So me, like I said in the video right there, I've actually done marriage counseling. So I do not suggest doing marriage counseling with a narcissist, because with a narcissist that's not working on themselves already. With a narcissist that is not already putting the work in on themselves. With a narcissist that's not working on themselves to be a better version for themselves. Not for you, not for you, for themselves. They have to want to put the work in for themselves. They can't do it for you. They have to be putting the work in on themselves, for themselves already, before you try marriage counseling. Because marriage counseling, couples counseling doesn't do anything, because the person who has the person with the issues are originating is not willing to work on it. Marriage counseling, if they're not experienced with, or couples counseling, whatever, is not, if they're not experienced with dealing with toxic, manipulative people, it can be very dangerous for you. You might have they might turn the therapist against you, and you might have another enemy. You may be 2-on-1 in there. They might be going into the therapist's office, lying their ass off to the counselor, and have you looking stupid. You've been there like, what? That didn't happen that way. What are you talking about? And the therapist's like, look, let them talk. Let you get your chance to talk. Let them talk. Let them tell their truth. It's not the truth, though. It's a lie. See, you're not willing to listen. How do you know it's not the truth? Because I lived. They get you. And then another reason, like I said, it can be very dangerous, because they could turn the marriage counselor against you. So you can start to feel like you're the problem, you're the issue. So you stay in a toxic relationship to try to make it work, because you think that you are the issue in this dynamic. So you start to try to work on yourself to, fix the relationship. You start to put up with more BS. You start to tolerate the abusive, toxic behaviors more, because hey, you want to make it work, don't you? You want to make the relationship dynamic work out so much so that the counselor said, hey, it's your fault. You need to work on yourself. So you start to internalize it, and you start to work on yourself to try to fix the narcissist, to try to fix the relationship dynamic. You know what I mean? And another reason that it could be dangerous is because the battery died, of course. Another reason it can be dangerous is because you go in there and you bring shame to your toxic partner. You bring shame to them. You embarrass them in front of the therapist, in front of the counselor, by telling the truth. By telling them the truth about what's going on. Hey, I've been abused. This person beside you right here beat my ass. You embarrass them in front of the therapist, or you tell that therapist, the counselor, the truth about what's going on. You bring shame to them. It could be a very dangerous car ride home. Imagine speeding home, going 90, 100, 120, 130 miles per hour, because the narcissist is crying and angry as hell at you, trying to teach you a lesson for embarrassing them. Why'd you tell them all that? We don't need to go back. Ooh, going fast. You're like, slow down, please. They go crazy. It can be dangerous as hell because you bring shame to them. Narcissists are trying to avoid shame. You see what I'm saying? That's why I don't recommend marriage counseling with a toxic narcissistic person that is not working on themselves. Because I know people are going to say, I already know what you're going to say. Lee, you went to therapy. You went to marriage counseling with your wife. I had already been in therapy by myself for 3 years before we stepped foot in the marriage counselor's office. Y'all, I had already been working on myself for myself. My wife left me and I was already in marriage. I was already in counseling by myself. And my marriage counselor, like I said in the beginning, was not well versed to deal with a narcissist, y'all. I'm being real with you. She was not ready to deal with somebody like me. And if I had ill intent, I could have went. If I had ill intent, if I didn't want to work on myself, I could have very well manipulated that woman. You see what I'm saying? I could have very well manipulated her into. I could have. I'm not saying that it was 100% guaranteed that I could have, but it leaned more into me being able to be charming and funny and just be like and be attentive and just like pretend that I get it. I just had a breakthrough. Come home, baby. She should come home, shouldn't she, marriage counselor? Yeah, I could have done that. But like I said, I didn't have ill intent. I really wanted to work on my marriage. I really wanted to work on myself because I didn't want her to leave again. Because my own personal therapist told me, you can get her back. You can lie, manipulate her into coming back. You probably can. You're a good talker. But she's just going to leave again if you're not genuine about it. If you're not actually working on yourself. If you're not putting the work in on yourself. It won't work. You know what I mean? So the dynamic goes a long way, y'all. It just really, really does. So if you're dealing with narcissistic people, toxic people, that's how it's going to go. That is it right there. I tell these people all the time. That is it. That is really it. So you have to empower yourself to do things. You have to empower yourself to be as strong as you possibly can, to be as brave as you possibly can, and to keep things moving forward. You know, and another thing about couples counseling, marriage counseling, whatever. I'm gonna say couples counseling, not even marriage counseling. Y'all, to me, it is a red flag to be in a relationship for less than a year and be wanting to go to counseling. I've talked to people and there's like, how can I convince them to go to counseling with me? Hey, I broke up with them and they said they would agree to go to counseling. Hey, why don't we try counseling? I'm like, how long have y'all been together? Oh, 3 months, 2 months. What? No, no. That means y'all are not, to me, if you're going to counseling that early in a relationship, that means y'all are not compatible. You know what I mean? You are working on trying to fix the foundation from the beginning. You are working from the beginning. You know what I'm saying? And I know people could disagree with me, and it's 100% fine to disagree with me. Just be respectful when you disagree. When I disagree with people, I'm respectful to them. But don't be disrespectful to me if you disagree. Like, well, Lee, we were together for 30 days and we went to counseling. Why? What, you know what I mean? I just feel like there's so many other people out here in the world that you can find for yourself that you don't need to go to marriage or couples counseling with early on in the relationship. You know what I mean? I feel like it's too early. A month, 2 months, 3 months, less than a year. I feel like, you know what I mean? It could be more than a year. I'm just like, I feel like less than 6. Let's just say be cool. I think we can all agree on less than 6 months. I just feel like if y'all been together less than 6 months and y'all talk about couples counseling, couples counseling, what? Talking to the pastor, whatever. If you have to bring somebody else into your relationship to help your relationship, not even counselor, a pastor or bishop, somebody at the church, I just feel like that's too early. But again, that's just me. I could be wrong. I'm open to being wrong, but I'm just like, that's my perspective on it right there. But like I said, if you decide to go to marriage counseling, I know I know people are just like, well, Lee, I still want to try it out because you don't want to leave any stone left unturned. Y'all, I'm telling you, me too, for me, in my perspective, it does not work if they are not already working on themselves with a solo therapist. If they can't go to solo therapy and work on their own behavior issues to increase the communication or to better the communication or to better their listening skills, I don't think it works, y'all. This is my personal perspective. This is how I feel. That's what I think about it right there, because I've been working on myself so long. I just like, well, I've been doing this so long on myself. Like, what do I think? What do I really think? You know what I mean? How do I really feel about this? That's how my mind be working about this situation. That's how my mind is kind of going right now. You know what I mean? It's a lot. It really, really is a lot. So I just tell people, be as safe as you possibly can, be as strong as you possibly can, because if you don't, you just end up in these circular conversations, these circular situations where it messes with your mind. It just does. You know what I mean? Like, you go to therapy and you put yourself in danger. You go to therapy and you go to counseling and it comes out worse. You come out worse. You tell the counselor about the cheating, the lying, or whatever, the manipulating, or whatever, and they get you. And the narcissist gets mad as hell at you and tries to harm you because you embarrassed them in therapy. You know what I mean? Just be as careful as you possibly can. I know people are just like, oh, I have to leave. I have to turn over this last stone and then I can leave. You know, I understand that dynamic. It's easier for me to just say, don't go. But I'm just telling you, don't go in there with your hopes of like, this is going to be it right here. Like, this is going to be the breakthrough right here. Because I truly believe that a narcissist, toxic person, whoever you're dealing with, if they're not willing to work on themselves in their way of communicating with you and listening to you, I don't think working on the relationship matters. They have to work on themselves to make the relationship better. And I also feel like you yourself, because you've been dealing with this narcissistic person, probably also need to go to some therapy on your own as well. That's just my 2 cents on it, y'all. I'm gonna keep my 2 cents. I'm gonna just spend it where I want to spend it. It's my 2 cents. You know what I mean? But y'all, just keep it strong as possible. Like I said, I got the Lee shirt on. If you see it at the beginning, the Lee shirt is on, but the toxic Lee shirt on. But anyway, y'all, thank y'all for tuning into another episode. Sydney, Australia, what is up? What is up? What is up? I'm in town. I know this video is filmed in my house, but I am in Sydney, Australia right now. The Self-Love Journal is on Amazon. If you can't see it right here, Lee Hammock, Self-Love, I Love Me, a Self-Love Journal by Lee Hammock is available on Amazon. Link is in the description of every single video I do, every single post I make. Thank y'all for tuning in. Or you can search Lee Hammock Self-Love on Amazon. Be careful, protect your peace, protect yourself. Like and subscribe for more. Mental Illness is out. Peace.